Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to today's Industry Week webcast, Future-Proof Manufacturing, a live roundtable discussion, sponsored by Salesforce, Compliance Quest, Propel, Rootstock, and Tavant. My name is Robert Schoenberger, and I'm the editor-in-chief of Industry Week. Before we begin, let me explain how you can participate in today's presentation. First, if at any time you have an audio difficulties or slides are not advancing, simply hit your F5 key to refresh your webcast console. If you're running pop-up blocking software, you will need to disable it to view the webinar. If you have any technical difficulties during today's session, please press the !help button on the upper right-hand corner to receive assistance in solving common issues. This webinar technology allows you to resize the presentation by clicking the maximize icon on the upper right-hand corner to enlarge the window. We welcome you to participate. Welcome your participation during today's event. Simply type into the Ask a Question window on the left side of your screen and hit the Submit button. Following the webinar, presenters will be able to answer those questions with you individually. Please be aware that today's session is being recorded and will be available on the Industry Week website within the next day for you to review. You'll be notified by email when the archive is available. When the webinar ends, please take a moment to complete the feedback form that will appear on your screen. I would now like to welcome today's panel. Frank Borofsky, Regional Vice President of Manufacturing Sales for Salesforce, is our moderator. He is being joined today for today's discussion by Michael Farr, Vice President of Operations and Plant Manager, MSA Safety. MSA Safety is the global leader in the development, manufacture, and supply of safety products that protect people and facility infrastructures. Many MSA products integrate a combination of electronics, mechanical systems, and advanced materials to protect workers around the world against hazardous or life-threatening situations. Christoph Nathan, Senior Director of Kubota Tractor Corporation Service Group. Kubota Tractor Corporation manufactures agricultural machinery and equipment. The company offers tractors, mowers, hay tools, and spreaders. Kubota Tractor serves clients worldwide, and Kubota Tractors are working on farms around the world to contribute to food production. They have produced over 4.8 million tractors globally. Ron Shaw, Global Vice President of Operations with Ocean Insight. Ocean Insight is the applied spectral knowledge company. They partner with their customers to unlock the unknown, leveraging the power of light to build safer, cleaner, healthier world. Their modular spectrometers, multispectral sensors, and fiber optic accessories comprise a flexible toolkit for experimentation and discovery. Ocean Insight has locations throughout the United States, Europe, India, and China. The company is a subsidiary of Halma PLC, a global group of life-saving technology companies, and is part of the Halma's environmental and analysis sector, which focuses on products and technologies for analysis in environmental safety and life sciences markets. And finally, we have Gabby Sheehan, Senior Manager of Enterprise Applications at Boston Dynamics. Recently acquired by Hyundai Motor Company, Boston Dynamics' mission is to imagine and create exceptional robots that enrich people's lives. Building machines that can approximate the mobility, dexterity, and agility of people and animals is a grand challenge. Curiosity and respect for the natural world are at the heart of our work on robots. Products derived from this work are the next step in the human history of building machines that reduce the danger, repetition, and physically difficult aspects of work. With that, Frank, welcome, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Before I begin, I'd like to thank our panelists for joining us today to share their stories, and also to thank you for being Salesforce customers. We do truly appreciate your business. Now, you all have very unique experiences working with our software partners to future-proof your respective businesses. And I'm certain many of our viewers are facing some of the exact same problems and challenges that you have, and are anxious to hear how you've tackled them. So Ron, let's start with you. Why did you embark on your digital transformation journey?
So I would say it's, I'll have to take you back in time. So 4 years back, obviously we were completely paper-based, and everything was on paper, right from document control to engineering change to product specifications. All those approvals was completely on paper. And that's when we said, you know, the world has changed. We got to go digital. We got to go computer-based, mobile-based, where things can be done more remotely, wirelessly, paperlessly. So that's when we really embarked our journey on digital transformation.
Same question. Christoph, what were some of the pains you were struggling with?
So pains, I would say, was crazy, right? Like where customer product spec got changed over the phone with customer service group, and production people never knew, right? Because it was all paper based. And that's when operators will make the products, we deliver the products, and then it would come back on RMA. So really crazy pain, right? Keeping our customers unhappy. The same thing happened on the supplier side, where we basically made some changes through engineering change notices, which was again paper-based, and suppliers were notified after the fact. So they were building the batch and they delivered it to us. So what happens is this is not real-time information going back and forth from suppliers or customers. And same thing was happening within our processes too, in terms of the NCRs, in terms of the document control, where things were changed by the engineers, manufacturing engineering group or quality group. And what was happening is people on the floor will know really after the fact, because when people are out, those papers used to sit on table, right? And nobody was there to sign off. And but once, if the sign off is not done, things are not approved and they cannot work on it. So that created a true longer lead times as well as multiple issues across the entire process, all the way from supplier through customer. So those were crazy pains, and the digital journey really helped us, cover up those pains and make it more faster, efficient, and effective.
Terrific. Christoph, the same question to you. What were some of the pains that you were dealing with?
Yeah, thanks, Frank. So Kubota, you know, we're responsible for the U.S. market, and since 2013, our market has tripled in size. So our sales in our market has tripled in size, and you start to realize that it's very difficult to run, you know, a $5 billion company off of a spreadsheet. On top of that, we were one of the ones that are part of the exodus from California. We moved our business, our headquarters from California to Texas. And in that change, we know we had a lot of tribal knowledge that was built up. And you know that tribal knowledge isn't easily shareable when you lose 70% of your workforce in that move. So we still wanted to maintain our business model, which was being easy to do business with our customers, which are our dealers. So we use B2B wholesale distribution in US. So we still wanted to be very easy to do business with. So that was really our motivation, and really, you know, our pain point is trying to take this tribal knowledge and really grow that and really scale that to a very large company that had tripled in size, to $5 billion in just a very short amount of time.
Thank you. Michael, what were some of the challenges you were trying to address?
Sure. Just like Ron and Christoph, I'll take off from their comments. Our biggest challenge was disparate information spread across numerous applications. And not only did you have to know where that data was, but who had access to it and how to go get it. And it was just obvious that we needed to consolidate that into one platform.
Okay. Gabby, I know that with Boston Dynamics, you were kind of starting from scratch. Maybe you can tell folks the kinds of challenges that you were facing.
Thank you, Frank. Yes, you're right. Our journey was slightly different than our partners today. So we began our digital transformation journey at the same time that we were beginning selling our robots commercially, right? Boston Dynamics was in the market for 29 years, but we were launching this effort 2 years ago. So we had a lot of business processes from different parts of the businesses that didn't really exist. They were forming themselves. And so we found ourselves were having to support the business as they were creating their own functions and processes, hiring teams in a very aggressive pace, and defining those processes at the same time as implementing our ERP. So that was where we were finding ourselves, and there was not really other way around. So we had no choice to start this way. The one thing is that we didn't really have heavy legacy systems to deal with, right? And for us, that was actually a benefit. We were able to really fast track and have a lot of like space to define our model and use best practices in doing so.
Terrific. So the last 2 years have presented manufacturers with unprecedented challenges and have changed the way we work, the way we manage our suppliers and deliver to our customers. And 2022 looks to be no different. How are you leveraging digital transformation through this period? And what things do you see continuing into the next normal? And again, Ron, we're going to start with you.
Yeah, so that's a really great question, right? We are in these COVID times, really challenging times where things have changed drastically, how we have been doing business. And it was great that 4 years back when we started this transformation to make it all digital. So what we did is we got Compliance Quest. Compliance Quest was our EQMS, the quality management systems, which was completely electronic. And what did it do? It completely helped make our factories, make our business, our processes, our systems paperless and wireless. So it truly helped to get the supplier issues that I was talking about, getting those drawings and specifications to them. And same thing on the customer side, it truly helped to get those going along with the engineering change notices. And the other best part, what we did is for digital transformation is we had bought CRM, so customer relationship management of Salesforce. So we were able to merge those together to truly talk with each other. So when the RFQs were converting to those leads, opportunities, and the actual orders, we were able to see in operations real time what is going on. So that way we were able to be prepared to get the supply chain going, because supply chain was the largest challenge in these last 2 years. And these 2 years, we were able to get what we say ahead of time, ahead of the game, just because of this digital transformation, as well as merging CRM and CQ. So which gave that full visibility to all our leaders, managers, and people on the floor and the supply chain group to say what's coming, what we have to be ready with, and what we have to be prepared, so that way we can deliver our products on time.
Terrific. Christoph, same question.
Yeah, I think it has been a couple years of challenge for us too. And really in our industry, what we've seen is that really the focus on home from our customers. So the disposable income has shifted. People were spending money on vacations and eating out, and all of a sudden that wasn't available to them. So then they shifted and started working from home, and then looking at what they can do to improve their home or improve their property. Working outside, that was encouraged during that time, and we've seen our industry grow then. So we've seen record sales, and we're not able to keep up with the demand that is out there, which is good for us. But then you couple that with, now we've got a workforce that is working from home, and it's not easy to take a piece of paper home with you and remember that, or an invoice or something like this. So we had to prepare internally to work from home. So really, we shifted to a work from anywhere strategy, and this is part of the digitization. So, and then you couple that with the Great Resignation, and then, like Ron said, supply chain headwinds. Digitization is the way that we're going to survive in these times. And then externally with our customers, our customers are looking to do business with us differently as well. So you start seeing some e-commerce, really buying from anywhere, buying from a cell phone, buying from their computer, buying over the phone. We had to adjust to be able to do that. And then as we look forward, we really do consider this the new normal. People are getting used to doing business this way. We are getting used to doing business this way. And we're really preparing as such now at Kubota.
Okay. Michael, how have you been managing through all of this?
Yeah, similar to Ron and Christoph, I think this way that we've evolved over the last couple of years is going to be the new normal, and this hybridization of working in the office from an admin standpoint and when working remotely, in addition to the manufacturing associates being on site. Our ability to share information across the domain, if you will, has just increased so much, and everybody's working on with the same set of tools, with the same base of knowledge. The other side of it is we've been able to conduct business in this environment. What comes to mind is our audits. We have products that are safety approved by third-party agencies. We've done those audits remotely. Our quality management system, we just did a remote audit for that. So we wouldn't have been able to do that without Salesforce and Propel.
Terrific. Gabby, what's your story?
Sure thing, Frank. So for Boston Dynamics, it was really all about visibility, flexibility, and adaptability. And for that, we leverage the Force.com platform, right? And for us, visibility is, visibility into the supply chain, our sales forecast, and our inventory and financials. The flexibility, leveraging the cloud to define and really understand what is the new work from everywhere workforce, right? And adaptability in using a platform that will let us quickly pivot. Let me speak a little bit more in detail about them. Visibility was a new thing for Boston Dynamics, believe it or not. And when we're talking about different business teams now in a commercially focused organization, where they were perhaps leveraging spreadsheets, we all seen them, and a few other, databases to really migrate into a common data model where the visibility is a facto and everybody has access to it. And to your point, from anywhere, right? From any device agnostic services is what had really opened the eyes for these teams to work together. And the flexibility, we're creating our own market, right? We're bringing this new technology to life. And having the agility and adaptability are core competencies of any platform for us. And that's what our ERP has led us to. In leveraging the core functionalities of the Force.com platform has, extremely important for us. And lastly, adaptability. Like I said, we believe in Salesforce.com, but in the middle of rolling out this massive ERP project, we're quickly able to pivot and create an e-commerce site to sell digitally as a response of a COVID need, much like the rest of our partners here today. So I would say that those are the core areas for us and how we were able to quickly respond to the needs of a new world in the last 2 years.
Terrific. Thank you all. You all selected Salesforce for your digital transformation solutions. So thank you again. What was the strategy behind moving to a united platform, and why did you ultimately select Salesforce as your platform of choice? And this time we're going to start out with Michael.
Yeah, thanks, Frank. I believe the sole driving force was just getting all of our operations on one platform and being able to have everything connected in one place. Similar to what Ron had said, our sales team, our engineering team, our operations team now has the access to that same information. We all see the same thing. We all see the evolution of the process through the continuity is there. We can service the customer that much better. It was just a need to get quickly into this environment, get away from the paper and the Excel spreadsheet.
Terrific. Gabby, how about you?
Sure thing. So in the last 2 years, we had an incredible journey of growth. So we more than doubled the size. We have been acquired, and we created a whole new market. And we have not only faced those challenges, but along the way, we have been able to reduce our financial costs close by 60%, reduce our order cycle timeline, right, days to revenue by almost 70%. So it has demonstrated importance of a single platform that provides all kinds of services and allows collaboration between teams. Has also brought up for us the importance of defining the process and the data quality that follows. The teams themselves, the business teams, have newfound visibility and has easily showed the importance of each team doing their jobs and the impact on the big picture, and really enable a collaboration between them in a very easy way. There was really the adoption of a single panel platform has been has to enable Boston Dynamics to meet all these challenges, right? The growth, the acquisition, and now where we face a new line of products as well.
Okay, how about you, Ron?
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of those dashboards and KPIs, the red, yellow, green, you see, like the Star Trek style. So I really love to have that kind of a cockpit, like 3 screens where you can see everything what's going on. And through this digital transformation of merging this CQ and CRM, Compliance Quest and CRM together, what happened, it truly gave a complete digital visibility, right, of exactly what is happening in the supplier world, in the process world, in the shop floor, at different sites across the globe. So that is another big advantage, right? When you talk about these digital platforms, this is not local, this is not regional. You're talking global. Now everybody has a complete visibility of each site, what's going on, are the parts going to come on time or not? I will be able to build those parts on time or not. And if we build, is there any scrap? Are there any returns coming? Same way from the customer side. So to get us to know exactly what are the orders. So previously we suffered in the sense where any spike orders were there, we'd build a lot of spectrometers for COVID, COVID applications. So what happened in these last 2 years, we had some crazy spikes from our customers for those spectrometers. If it was a previous world, it would be lost in an email, right? Or a chat or somewhere where nobody will even get to know. And when supply chain will be like the last person, like, oh, this thing is coming, right? So we would have missed that boat, we would have missed the order, and we would not be able to help the world for COVID. So we are into COVID testing, into blood oxygen testing, as well as the PCR and all that. So we are into every phase of COVID where you can think of, from the start of the process of COVID testing and measurement to the COVID cure. So we have been really instrumental into that. And if we had not got this digital system, we would have truly missed the boat. So these spike orders that were there now, so we are not talking like 100, 200, but say 1,000-piece order. We were able to truly react real time, where we were able to get to our suppliers those orders upfront, so that way we could meet those deadlines. So I think so, as I said, it gave us that nice red, yellow, green, where we are good, where we are not good. And also obviously where we are not good, the management leadership team was able to truly put on resources, truly put on that time, money, whatever was required to assure our success. And that's why continuously we've been growing more than 25%. So the growth was there along with all this COVID. So it was a combination, and this digital transformation using CRM and CQ combination truly made us successful and kept our customers happy, as well as the world a healthier and safer place.
Wow, terrific, Ron. Thank you. Christoph, why one platform and why Salesforce?
Yeah, it's a good question, Frank. I think we started to look at our business, and we realized it's that you've got the sales process of selling, and then you've got the usage process, which is actually the customer using the product, and then our dealer supporting the customer and using that product, making repairs, maintaining that product. And we really focused in on service, because obviously in the life cycle of that product, that's the longest period that there is. And we knew that our warranty system was the first thing that we needed to really improve and really update. And so we went with Tavant, and we immediately got very, very good business insights. And it was one of those things. It was you started to show some of this data that you could produce, and then you just got this pull from the business saying, well, hey, I see you can do this. Can you do this, and this too? And we were like, yeah, well, we can do that. And that really grew our analytics. We really started looking at different analytics that we could do with the information. And that also made it so that we wanted to be able to consume this data in multi-channel. So you wanted to be able to consume it maybe in a Power BI dashboard, or you wanted to consume it maybe in an SAP business warehouse or something like that. And the platform really allowed us to do that. And in turn, that allowed us both for the OEM, for us as Kubota, our dealers, and even our customers to then monetize that data, monetize that information, and create value from it. So very, very good transformation for us.
Terrific. So now I'm going to get into the specifics with each one of your digital transformations and the solutions you chose. So many of our viewers are going to know Salesforce as the leader in CRM or customer relationship management. But each of you leveraged the Salesforce platform with one of our Salesforce App Exchange partners to address your challenge, which is a little bit different for some folks. Could you each explain which one you chose, why you chose them, and the benefits that you've actually seen? And in this case, we're going to start with Christoph.
Yeah, so we are using Tavant and the Tavant Warranty on Demand product that runs on Salesforce Lightning. And it actually is our only Salesforce at this time, our only Salesforce application that we're using. We're using a separate CRM and an ERP, separate ERP, but we are looking at going with Service Cloud in the future. That's one thing we're considering. But really our journey started with just an idea, and that was listening to our dealers and what do they want. And really what they came back to us and said was, we need to have a warranty system that is up to date, that is easy to use, and that delivers value to us as your dealer. And we quickly realized that the only way we could deliver that was with Salesforce and Tavant's Warranty on Demand product. And really why that was is that it gave us flexibility to adjust to future needs, as well as met our immediate needs. And I'll give you a good example of the flexibility. So as we talked, Frank, we talked about the rapid adjustments we needed to make for COVID. And one of those adjustments was putting a device on the machine that could actually then report out, the usage of the machine, what is it doing in its location, these different things. And it also gives you some of the code. So let's say if it had a failure code come up, it could communicate that to the dealer, and then the dealer could react really quickly to rectify that issue on that machine. So these communication modules, we needed to find a way to basically connect those with our warranty system, to be able to say this connects to our warranty system, this machine has this communications module on it. And we were able to do that very quickly with the Salesforce platform, working with Tavant to create that. So that was some of the flexibility that we looked for, and it was something that had an immediate impact both for our dealers. It made it easier for them to do, and then for our customers, because they could connect to that data really quick. So really that was why we wanted to leverage that platform. And we do see in the future, we're looking for new ways to monetize the data that we've got there, and new ways to bring more value to both our dealers and to our customers. And it's just a very good platform to work from for us.
Excellent. Okay, so Ron, what was the solution that you chose and why?
So our solution, as I mentioned prior, we chose Compliance Quest. Compliance Quest is an amazing product in terms of just out of the box. When you see Compliance Quest, the best thing is it runs out of the box very easily. So all the modules, so that they have total 10 modules plus the supplier portal. So we bought that entire package, and what was happening is Compliance Quest gave terrific support, the technical support to give us that jump start, because we always start with document control and training, like those are some key modules to start with, but we were on the fly. So the first 2 months was a little bit of learning, but the platform was so great, kind of drag and drop. So it was really easy. And Salesforce platform is really robust. That's the best part. You can customize it. We had people in-house who were able to really create the process builder thing. So that's why we literally created processes. We were able to create even modules, like copy-paste modules. So we were truly able to transform our not just the quality systems, but as a business process, business system, where we were able to combine things, imitate things, and also to add to Christoph, the warranty thing. The best thing that we were able to do is use the cases module in Salesforce and able to connect to the customer complaints module in CQ. And that was just amazing, because the thing is, when customers put in a complaint like as a case in the front end, and that too, like this was done 24/7, right? Because of the digitization and availability anywhere, people were able to get into the cases, put that case, that generated a CQ, customer complaint number, so full traceability of the case number to the CQ number, and automatically that triggered the quality team, engineering team, and ops team to say, yep, these are the problems, these are the issues. We were able to revert and close out those kind of complaints real fast. So previous lead times were, I would say, like 4 to 8 weeks, depending on the issue. And now it turned out to be 1 to 2 weeks. And customers are so delighted because it is linked through the email system, through our Salesforce. So we have the Service Cloud and everything combined so that it works greatly with Outlook also. It is a sidebar on the side for Outlook. So you know exactly which case is assigned to who and who can get that knocked off pretty fast. So I would say Compliance Quest is great that way, that they had built it on Salesforce platform, and they had all the modules that goes in line with the CRM and the Service Cloud. So you can really tie along all together. And as I said, fortunately we had the capability in-house. So 2 of our folks in-house was able to do all that. And we used Compliance Quest to the fullest. So I would say, and it is out of box modules, like you can really use it, and any naive or novice user, they can really implement it faster and take the full benefit of it.
Well, thank you. And Christoph, I hope you were listening, because I think you just got a testimonial for Service Cloud as well. So
yeah, definitely.
All right, Michael, I don't think you've yet mentioned the solution, the provider that you utilize. Can you tell us who they were, what they did, and why you chose them?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to emphasize on the Salesforce platform, there's over 4,000 different applications that you can choose from. It's just incredible. I was a kid in a candy store, walked into the best toy store in the world, and I found our solution. And it was we needed a product lifecycle management tool. Propel was that great solution for it. And just like Ron said, just like Christoph said, we were able to build right out of the box onto that platform and just marry all of our internal operations. There was the obvious ones to get in quickly, like change order management, but then we've evolved sales order integration. Our quality management system has evolved into it. And it's just very, very straightforward, easy to customize, but most of it is just right out of the box, as Ron was pointing out. And also, back to what Ron said earlier, I love the dashboards. Oh my gosh, the dashboards just make it so easy. It helps focus management right where to go on every aspect that you're running on that platform.
Can you tell us a little bit about your implementation, what that process was like, Michael?
Sure. We knew we needed a product lifecycle management evolution, almost a revolution, and we knew that the Salesforce platform was going to be the platform of our choice. So we signed on to both, and we actually implemented the Propel solution ahead of the CRM solution. And we did that implementation in 30 days. And it was just a transition of an older process that we had in place, but it was easy to export, and with the help of the Propel engineering staff, transition all of that old data into the new. We've got all of our bombs, all of our change orders, and we're off and running. And the learning curve, it's so intuitive, and just the whole presence that you see in the Lightning Reports background, it really, really straightforward. So there was no teasing at all that you would experience in some of these. You've heard big implementations that you have to go through.
Yeah, I think folks would be really surprised by that 30-day horizon. That was really incredible. Thank you, appreciate it. Gabby, I know that you have some history with Salesforce before, and if you could tell us a little bit about your journey, what did you choose and why?
Sure thing, Frank. So Boston Dynamics, when we're starting off a revolution and bringing robots to the market, we're starting to strategize on what it is that we need to do to support all these business functions. Yes, we had experience in Salesforce in many of the different clouds, but also we're looking at different functions, and in the world that we live, there are so many solutions. When we're thinking of like what is the most effective way to enable this business needs in a very, very agile manner, which was our framework of work. For us, it was very easy to say we need to work on the Salesforce.com platform, right? That was the ecosystem we chose to work. And to echo some of my peers, we had to define what was the plan of attack, and an ERP was our core focus for year one. And we found rootstock and through a series of evaluations, and it really showed the power of well-built, robust, manufacturing-focused ERP running on the Force.com platform that natively had leveraged so many of the services that we have in Salesforce, and then allow us to implement a manufacturing process, inventory controls, and run our financials on a single platform, and then quickly built other functions, right? We had since then released our Service Cloud, our Community Cloud, our Sales Cloud, our high velocity products, and pivot as needed. Like I mentioned before, inadvertently, we had to release our e-commerce side, and we did it in less than 3 weeks. Like our time to implement and do it in an agile manner, effectively bring into production and unleashing the power for these teams had been only possible because of the solutions that we found through a vision of communication and a core collaboration for our teams.
So I think that's an amazing story. You essentially run your entire business on Salesforce, correct?
We effectively do, and we're not stopping. We're just in the second year. Our plan is a multi-year plan where we are connecting effectively every single function to the business, including our products through IoT, to a single platform. The nature of the platform and how it has been open to the entire business has allowed all teams, from engineers, product managers to finance, to solve problems instantly, where we only have a single data point. We all can see it, we can collaborate around it, and we can solve real problems, right? So we only see this as a starting point. Like I said, we are just in our second year, of a growth journey, and we're very excited to share what is ahead of us. I would say Boston Dynamics, it moves really, really quickly, and the times that we're leaving force us to do so. But the best part is that we have a partner and a platform that allow us to meet and reach all these goals in a very easy way.
So let's use that as the segue to the next question, which is, how has your digital transformation initiative helped to improve the availability of data across your value chain? And Michael, we're going to start with you.
Sure. I believe that we have this solar system, if you will, this digital customer capability where the satellites, the engineering team, the customer service team, the sales team, the operations team, all have this great visibility looking at the CRM process, the accounting, the accounts, the opportunities, the quotes, handing off into maybe some sales order customization or OEM product development. And on the back end, being able to address issues like Long was talking earlier with cases and customer comments and addressing all of that issue. The whole universe is all connected right now, and it's all looking at the same thing. And it's so bright, it's just incredible.
So what benefits have you actually seen as a result of that? Is there any quantifiable metrics that you can tell our viewers about?
Just what Gabby was saying, everything happens so quickly now. It's down to days and hours of handing off information and having accessibility, and around the world, everybody can get to it. I don't consider time a factor in anything that I do anymore. It's because it's just there. It's always available, front and center. People know they go look in this world first. Salesforce, Propel, get that information, and it's right there.
Okay. Ron, I think you have some good numbers to tell folks about. What benefits have you seen, and have you been able to quantify any of them?
Yes. So we have seen amazing benefits out of the CQ CRM combination that we are using. So as I mentioned, big fan of KPIs, dashboards. So we do have like safety, quality, delivery, inventory, cost, productivity, like basically the accuracy of inventory. So we have multiple KPIs throughout our ops team. And also from the sales side, I'll tell a little bit about that too. But say like from safety standpoint, all these KPIs previously we were doing in Excels across the globe, and then it was merged into that final Excel, and then all the numbers were spitted out. Where it took almost like 7 to 10 days, right, before we would got our numbers. With this CQ CRM combination, now we are able to get all those numbers real time on a daily basis. So which we do through our daily management meetings, which we do every plant, every site has to do that in the morning. And you can see that safety wise, we were at 0 incidents throughout the year, which is the RIR, recordable injury rate that you look for. Also, from quality standpoint, we had amazing reduction in RMAs. As I said, because of the CRM, the cases, the customer complaints module in CQ, so much of real-time information going back and forth, and the resolution, customers were highly delighted. So what happened is our RMA reduced almost more than, I would say, 75 to 80%. So that is a great downturn, right? Like, and people are so happy out there using Ocean products. So they are like, wow. And any issue happens, they really help resolve it right away. So the team is there to support that. And the systems are there, like CQ and CRM. Along with that, because of the real-time information on the shop floor for the NCRs, MRB, things like that, material review board, what happened is the scrap reduction happened drastic. So we are talking almost more than 500,000 scrap reduction. And we are able to sustain also, like continuously improve and sustain, which is a key thing, right? You don't want to pick that spike back up, right? For scrap or NCRs or things like that. And that has not happened, which tells us that the systems are working, processes are working, and we are able to take that benefit of 500,000. Also, OTD improvement, on-time delivery improvement, because that was almost around 800 basis point. So we were like really low 90s, I would say 90, 91. We are now 98, 99. So which tells that is an amazing world-class manufacturing, right? And that was purely possible because of CQ and CRM combination. Because as I mentioned about the spike orders, as I mentioned about the quotes to the order conversion rate, things like that, we were able to see real time in operations, and sales were able to obviously predict those really fast because of this real time info that they got, and which helped ops team and supply chain team within that to really react faster. And it truly became this combination of proactive approach rather than a reactive approach. So which is why we are still growing, and we continue to grow more than 25% overall for the Ocean business. So I would say total revenue going up 20-25%, and almost $1 million plus of savings that we are seeing with the CQ CRM combination. So it just pays off well. You don't even have to think twice, and just go for it, and it will work for you.
Well, that's very impressive, especially that $1 million figure. And you implemented when? How long ago?
I would say roughly 3 years back.
Okay.
So we did that, and along with that, we had obviously the cultural changes too, right? So cultural changes along with process system changes, I personally believe it is a 18 to 24 months journey, right? Because things don't just change and happen all the time. Cultural change specifically. So we do what we say Gamba meetings, which I call Gamba is the word we use where the actual workplace is. So we always say go to Gamba, make things happen. And also we use another word called try-storming. So instead of brainstorming, sitting in meetings and conference rooms and just doing brainstorming, do actually try-storming. So we encourage our employees, empower them to say, you do it. If it does not work, you won't be dinged for that. It is basically, you can go back and do what you were doing prior. So I think those are some key cultural changes we did along with the system and process changes, and that really helped us gain this ground and the marketplace.
And I think that's a good learning for everyone, right? It's not just about the system, it's about the process changes you make along the way.
Yep, exactly.
Christoph, what about you? How did things improve in terms of the availability of data across your organization, and who benefited as a result?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think that's really the payoff here. That's the value that you get from this. And like I said before, that we had some headwinds. So we had some headwind. We moved from California We lost about 70% of our staff in that move. Our business tripled during that same time. And again, we had a lot of tribal knowledge that had been built up. And this was shared via phone calls or was shared via Excel spreadsheets. But like Ron said, as soon as you publish that Excel spreadsheet, it's already outdated, and you need to have something that's living, that's live, that's dynamic. And so we really focus internally with sharing our data and our information with our field first. And what field means for us is the people that touch directly our dealers and our customers. So they needed to be informed. They needed to know, what information they need to have to go into a meeting and go into a meeting with a dealer and have that discussion on how quickly recalls or campaigns are being completed, or are there any specific areas of the business they need to focus on. And that was done through the dashboard. So they're able to see that. They're able to pull up on their phone or on their computer and be able to see that, and they're a lot more adaptive and a very proactive in their dealings with our customers and our dealers. Externally, then for our dealers, it's really that they had the resources they need to make decisions that could help them sell and then support our equipment with the customers. And we could actually measure that. We could actually see an improvement with the happiness or the delight of our customers through our CSI, our customer service index, and then our NPS score. So which, the advocacy of our customers advocating in the market for other people to come and buy Kubota products. So definitely could see, that the effect that great data and being able to communicate that data across our organization has in really making our customers happy, and then hopefully driving them and bringing them into our business to buy more products from us.
So it's really interesting to see the various ways folks have benefited here. Gabby, what about for you in Boston Dynamics? What benefits have you seen?
I would say the benefits have been both from our, experience with our customer, how we delight not only with our robots, but with the services around it, right? Whichever way a customer can come to us, and how we have enabled them to get the information that they need, but also the support needed. That has really transformed the business. So we really care about the best experience for our customers, and we had made that rather quickly with really agile improvements to our services and platforms, right? And then that actually has translated into operational gains for us. We have quickly find ways to streamline processes that perhaps before were done in, spreadsheets or small databases, like I mentioned before. And what we've seen before is whenever we have an issue to solve, all the teams can really storm and solve the problem and collaborate around the single issue. Like I said, it doesn't matter which team you're in, an engineer, product manager, or a service manager, you can all look at the same point of data and interact with our customers and then solve the issue internally. Now, we also have seen huge operational gains, really transformative for our finance teams in sales and services operations as well. Our timelines to close, for example, our fiscal period have reduced by 70%. Right? Our timelines of order to ship had also reduced tremendously just by the sheer factor that we're all working in the same platform. And with that, right, we have increased this, obsession to solve or support our customers. And I think that is something that is part of our culture at Boston Dynamics. We're obsessed with bringing the best solutions to the market, these amazing robots to solve real problems. And we want that experience to really be throughout all our systems as well. And that is what we have been able to accommodate and really provide in the last 2 years.
So the common thread that I keep on hearing is customer experience is so much better. I'm hearing also threads around the employee experience. And then there are all these other fantastic statistics, that I don't think people generally think of for Salesforce. Things like, the financial close and the speed of being able to go to market, that sort of thing. So it's really interesting to hear all these different stories. I'm going to change it up a little bit. Can anyone, and this is for anyone here, speak to how their implementations affected the integrity or quality of their data?
So I'll jump in first. The way that we set up the forms and the processes that occurred within Salesforce, within Propel, drove such consistency that in the past, you'd go to a record and it was maybe Susie entered it one way, and you go to another record and Tommy entered it a different way, and it was hard to connect everything. But now the required fields are all identified. The process to step through the process is identified. The approval process is clearly identified. And again, the connectivity is, and through the phases has been so strong.
Anyone else?
Sure. I think what I would say that with us, like I said, have seen other deployments and implementation of different systems, we were able to bring our experiences and understand what it is that we want to get to, right? When we make data the king, when we make sure that our process and data are like consistency throughout. We had great partners along this way, and our business leaders, where they understood also the value of data, right? Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that it's actionable for our teams and even predictable. So with that said, we actually have planned our design and the systems, always be considering the data model and the governance of it. So I think for us, it was has become a second nature in every single deployment, and how we understand the data that we need to get in and out, and how the teams need to work together. And I would say that at the beginning, it was a little bit hard for our business teams, but had quickly shown the benefits of it, right? Nowadays, when you have, so many thousands of records running through your system every single day, the teams understand the value of what they're doing, why it matters, because really we're looking at the same point of data. And that in itself has just shown value over time. And that's why we now, in terms of data services, we're I would say very comfortable, in our business units understand the value of it as well. And the reports and the data that we put in our dashboard really shows it, right? It comes as a second nature. And it's a delight for us to see our power users create these beautiful dashboards and reports and really understand what it means and be able to speak to it. And that has been amazing. We have seen so many executives seeing dashboards that are like, okay, this is great. I never thought we could get to it in less than a year.
Terrific, terrific. So I'm going to open up this question to anyone. How has your strategy and utilization of the Salesforce platform evolved over time?
Well, I'll jump in. I walk around the plant observing physical operation, and I'm always thinking, how can I include that in the Salesforce platform? What's missing right now? What can we do to digitize that effort to make it more contiguous, and shareable, if you will?
Terrific.
Yeah, so I'll add on one thing to that, Frank. What Michael said, right? That is the mindset. That's the continuous improvement mindset. You have a system that is capable, and obviously, as Michael said, you look around to say what you can do better. And what we did is the NPD, NPI, like the stage gate process. We were doing it like obviously same way within Excel and trying to go through the CQ for the approval side. But truly, we were able to copy and paste one of the module of the Salesforce, and were able to put that stage gate process with what Gabby said, right? And Christoph, and they were discussing like the workflow, the approval flow, the process flow. So we did all that. So we are truly evolving and learning that it has much more capability. If you have the right talent in-house, like you can truly make the full use of it, like getting to those dashboards, one-stop shop for all sorts of processes and business systems that you have. So you can make it put everything into one. So I really love that way, and we are still evolving. Let me say that way.
Fantastic. I'm going to ask all of you. You've had different experience going through your digital transformations. Can you provide recommendations or tips to those companies who are just starting out on their journey? And Gabby, we're going to start out with you.
Sure thing. I would say that for us, I think one of the best things you can do is always have that executive alliance, right? It's incredibly critical throughout the entire process, because when you're talking about digital transformation, you're definitely talking about people, processes, and tools, right? So there has to be a process where we all have to converge, agree, and move forward. And that only happens when we have that executive partnership and support to execute. A lot of these projects where we have an amazing platform that allows us that agile development take time, right? Because you want to do it right too. So that means that we need a constant commitment in partnership and clear goals as to where we need to go. For us, has been, like I said, a really great partnership from the get-go. We all knew we needed a single place to work with, a platform that would unleash the powers of every single team. And I think over time, we have been able to do so, keeping in mind what we wanted at the end. So no losing sight of your goals, have a strategic partners, but also have the knowledge to do it, right? If you don't have the knowledge in-house, it's okay. Find great partners in the ecosystem to help you deliver where you need to go, but have those clear goals at mind, because I think it's an amazing journey to build a solution. What you want to make sure is answering to the business needs ultimately.
Terrific. Ron, what tips do you have?
So I have exactly one similar tip as what Gabby said: leadership commitment, I call, right? And buy-in. Because if the leadership team, the executive team is not bought in, you could be doing anything and everything, things will fail, right? So what Gabby said is 100% true, that the leadership buy-in is the first thing. And in our case, when we shared this vision with the leadership team, they were really bought in because of exactly what Gabby was mentioning, right? The dashboard capabilities where you can see what's going on real time. So those things were very, very critical. And that's, as soon as they saw that, the buy-in was there. And then I would give a couple of tips while we are implementing CQ or CRM. Because we bought both the products like fully loaded, okay? We went all the way out. And that's why what I would say, it's kind of that white elephant, right? Because you want to be successful. You don't want to introduce a system where people find it cumbersome and say, nope, I don't want to use it. And then it eventually falls off. So what we did is we started with a couple of modules, as I said, doc control and training, because that was the first one for Compliance Quest for QMS. And after that, the journey was really like a hockey stick, right? So first it was really slow, the first 3-4 months, but then it just kicked off because the learning curve was gone. And Compliance Quest basically gives like terrific technical support. So those people are always there at the phone call. They are there to do those team meetings, Zoom meetings, Skype meetings. So they truly help us out. And we were able to implement it really fast. And the third piece of advice I would say is for the data, because a lot of time when you buy these kind of systems, customers get hung up on what I do with that past data, right? Because everybody has tons of those paper documents and those, I have 7 years, 10 years worth of documents sitting. What would I do? So my personal advice is leave that data as is, start fresh, because if you try to now do all that old data while you are trying to do the new system, you will fall behind so much. The interest is gone. People won't be able to even get into the system that fast. So I would say leave the data as is, start fresh, make sure you are doing those business process mapping to understand that this is the right way to go. So do that. And once you are done, after that, for the data or the forms, what Michael, Christoph, Gabby, everybody mentioned, right, is making those forms with, I would say, drop-down boxes or radio buttons, because the data integrity is the key. If you don't have the right data, I call it garbage in, garbage out. So you are not able to build those dashboards there. You're not able to build some meaningful data or meaningful reports out of it. So those are those 3-4 key advices I would like to give as tips, because those were our learning curves, and we were like, oh shoot, we should have done this as a drop down. when we started looking at that monthly report, weekly report, those things we changed after the fact. But those are the tips for the future customers.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Christoph, what recommendations do you have?
Thanks, Frank. I think to echo what Ron and Gabby have mentioned is really have a focus and really have a strategy to start out with. And for us at Kubota, we have 5 questions that we always ask the teams or ask our people when they're going to make an investments. And you can always come back and reference those as you're moving forward. It's set your strategy first, and then as you're going forward, you're definitely going to be faced with a lot of questions. Should we do it this way? Should we do it that way? What does the form need to look like? What's the right sequence? You can always go reference back these 5 questions. And the first one we start is, why are you going to do it? So what problem are you going to solve? What are you going to get for it? What's the benefit? Why make the investment? Why is it this particular product, or why are you going to do it in this specific way? And then why are you confident that that is going to be the solution for you? And then at the final thing is the value statement is, what are you going to get? Or what are you going to get? What is the value that you're going to get? And if you set that strategy up front, then as you're moving through this, you can always come back and reference it, and then it really will help you answer those questions as you're going forward. And for us, for Kubota, ours was always focused on the customer and dealer journey. That was our strategy in the beginning. That's why we started out asking questions. How do you want it? How does the customer want it? What benefits are there for that? And then that's where we aligned it to the Tavant and Salesforce strategy going forward. So that's my recommendation on that.
Okay. And last but not least, Michael, recommendations for our viewing audience?
Sure. I echo everything that Gabby, Ron, and Christoph have said, especially the management and leadership importance. It has to be driven down from the top. The other point I really want to bring up, and it hasn't been touched on at all, is there are so many great resources out there, not only on the Salesforce, the Trailblazer community, available at no charge, available, easily accessible. You don't need to have an expertise. You don't need to be a computer scientist to go out and understand how to get things going and moving. But in Propel, also the same way. And then every person that I've come in contact with at both those organizations, just so willing to help and make you grow because they grow as well.
Terrific. Thank you. So I'm going to kind of leave it to you guys. Any last comments for our listening audience? Any pearls of wisdom?
Just the platform is so amazing. You can do so much with it.
Sure. I think that one thing I would add is, like, when you're building something, it's easy to, be delighted by the power of the platform as well. But like, start with low code or no code. There's a reason why that's a principle in working in the Force.com platform, and also consider, the criticality of the services you're running. So extensibility is a big component on your design. While these are cloud solutions and we have great partnership and trust in them, you have to always see your ecosystem. And like I said, making sure that you are evaluating this like you would any other piece of technology.
Terrific. I think that is it. So thank you all. Appreciate your time and the experiences that you've been able to relay to our viewing audience. Thank you all.
Well, and Frank, thank you for a great presentation. As a reminder, please take a moment to complete the feedback form that will appear on your screen at the end of the webinar. I'd like to thank Michael Farr, Christoph Nathan, Ron Shaw, Gabby Sheehan, Frank Borowski, and we'd like to thank the sponsors of today's event. Salesforce unites your marketing, sales, commerce, service, and IT teams from anywhere with Customer 360, one integrated CRM platform that powers our entire suite of connected apps. Compliance Quest, a worldwide provider of cloud quality and safety management solutions on the Salesforce Cloud Platform. Propel, a product success platform built on Salesforce that helps manufacturers create, commercialize, and correct products. And Rootstock Software, a worldwide provider of cloud ERP on the Salesforce Cloud Platform. and Tavant, a digital products and solutions company enabling organizations to provide a connected and seamless aftermarket experience. On behalf of Industry Week, have a productive remainder of your day.